The massive war mech stood motionless in the ruins of what had once been New Karachi's eastern district, its sensors sweeping the devastated landscape. Pilot Adnan Khan adjusted his neural interface, feeling the familiar weight of the 40-ton machine respond to his thoughts like an extension of his own body. 3 days had passed since the hegemony's orbital bombardment had reduced half the city to rubble, and he was running a final sweep for survivors before the evacuation fleet departed. His proximity sensors chimed softly. Something large was moving beneath a collapsed shopping complex 200 meters ahead. Adnan's jaw tightened. If it was another of those crystalline hunter-killers the aliens had seeded throughout the ruins, he'd make short work of it. Humanity had learned in these dark months since first contact that mercy was a luxury they could no longer afford. The mech's footsteps shook the ground as Adnan approached the debris field. His thermal imaging revealed the heat signature more clearly now. Definitely large, but the pattern was wrong for a hegemony construct. Too organic, too familiar somehow. Computer, analyze thermal pattern, he commanded. Pattern consistent with large reptilian life form. Estimated length 12 meters. Multiple smaller heat sources detected in proximity. Adnan frowned. Earth's large reptiles had been extinct for millions of years, and the few remaining species were nowhere near that size. He activated his mech's demolition claws and began carefully clearing debris, his movements surprisingly delicate for something so massive. What he found beneath the rubble made him catch his breath. It was a dragon, not the mythical creature from old stories, but something far more real and immediate. Her scales shimmered with an opalescent blue-green that seemed to shift in the filtered sunlight, streaming through the ruined ceiling above. She was magnificent and terrible, easily as long as his mech was tall, with intelligent golden eyes that tracked his every movement. Around her, partially hidden beneath her protective wing, were 3 smaller forms, her children, each no larger than a horse but possessing the same otherworldly beauty as their mother. The dragon's head rose as Adnan's mech approached, her lips pulling back to reveal teeth like ivory daggers, but there was no aggression in her posture, only desperate protectiveness. One of her wings hung at an awkward angle, clearly broken. Dark blood seeped from several wounds along her flanks. Incredible, Adnan whispered inside his cockpit. Computer, are you recording this? Affirmative. However, I must note that no such species exists in our databases. Adnan studied the scene before him. The dragon was injured, trapped, and protecting her young in the ruins of a world under siege. It didn't matter that she wasn't human. It didn't matter that she was something that shouldn't exist. What mattered was that she was a mother trying to save her children. He had been a father once before the war. Before Neha and little Zara had died in the first wave of attacks on the civilian sectors. External speakers activate, he said quietly. The dragon's great head tilted at the sound of his voice echoing from the mech's speakers. Her golden eyes seemed to study him with an intelligence that was unmistakably sentient. I don't know if you can understand me, Adnan said, but I'm not here to hurt you. The orbital bombardment will resume in 6 hours. This entire sector will be glassed by nightfall. The dragon's nostrils flared and she shifted her position slightly, drawing her young closer. One of the babies, a little female with scales like polished emeralds, peeked out from beneath her mother's wing and chittered softly. Adnan felt something twist in his chest. Look, I know you don't trust me. Hell, I don't even know what you are or where you came from. But those ships up there? He gestured skyward with one of his mech's massive hands. They don't care about mothers. They don't care about children. They'll burn this whole planet to ash if it means winning their war. The dragon's eyes narrowed, and for a moment Adnan thought she might attack. Instead, she did something that shocked him to his core. She spoke. Her voice was like distant thunder, harmonious and deep, carrying emotions that transcended the barrier of species. Though the words were in no language he recognized, their meaning was crystal clear. Why should I trust you, little metal man? Adnan's breath caught. You can speak? I can do many things, came the reply, her mental voice now reaching him directly. But I cannot move with this wing, and my children cannot fly. We are trapped. The evacuation ships are leaving in 4 hours, Adnan said. After that, anyone left behind will burn, the dragon finished. Yes, I know. I have watched your metal birds fleeing skyward for days now. Adnan made his decision. He extended his mech's hand, palm up, in what he hoped was a universal gesture of peace. Gather your things. You're coming with me. The dragon's great head drew back. You would help us? Even though we are not of your kind? My daughter used to collect pictures of dragons, Adnan said quietly. She said they were the most beautiful creatures that never existed. I think she would have liked to meet you. Used to? The war took her. And my wife. 3 months ago. The dragon was silent for a long moment, studying him with those ancient golden eyes. Then slowly she began to move, gathering her young beneath her good wing. The smallest one, barely larger than a cat, scrambled up onto her mother's neck and perched there like a living jewel. I am called Nehara, she said as Adnan's mech carefully scooped them up in its reinforced cargo bay. These are my children, Zira, Mika, and little Asha. Adnan's hands trembled on the controls. Nehara. So close to Neha's name. And the baby dragon, Asha, bore the same name as the daughter he'd lost. I'm Adnan, he managed. Hold tight. We're going home. As his mech turned toward the evacuation point, carrying its precious cargo toward the waiting ships and the stars beyond, Adnan realized that perhaps some things were worth preserving across any distance, any difference. Perhaps that was what made humanity worth saving. Not their weapons or their technology, but their capacity to recognize the sacred wherever they found it. Even in the ashes of war, hope could take flight.